Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. Good evening. If you can hear me fine and see me fine, please let me know in the chat. If you can hear me and see me, please let me know in the chat. Good evening, Bougie Prepper. How are you doing today? Thank you for being in here. Blessed family, how are you? Good to see you. Can you all hear me and see me fine? Thank you, Nikki Walker. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. How's everyone doing today? Hello, Miss Shirley OG Gardner. Thank you. You can see me and hear me. Glad to know that. Good to see everyone in here. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone? You all having a great day today? Yes. How's everyone doing today? You having a good day? Listen, if you are watching the replay, I want to thank you for joining us and welcome in. Yes. Glad to know you are having a wonderful day. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Had to get myself a little nap today. I don't usually take naps, but I had to take a brief one today. So I am doing well. I was running around. So I'm probably sweating a little bit because I was running around. Yes, having a good day. Great, great. I was thinking that we would be having some severe weather today, but thankfully we are not. So I was glad about that. Glad that we are not having that type of weather. Yes, yes. How was everyone's weather? I know, Miss Shirley, you are finally getting some good weather your way and able to do some things. So I'm glad to hear about that. I think that is great. Excuse me. So I'm glad to hear that your weather is doing well. You think the rain starts back tonight after 10. Okay, bless family. Thank you for that information. Thank you. Anna Nana Garden 8B. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Mac. Yay. I'm glad you got the notification. Great. It's great to know that was working. I'm glad that you got that notification. Welcome in to both of you. So it was cold where you are, Miss Shirley. Only a high of 64. Only in the 70s this week. Warm days over. Well, I don't know about where you all are, but for us, we're supposed to have some poor air quality tomorrow. And it's because of the fires that are in Canada. Poor air quality in the Carolinas, at least in our area, the Charlotte region, because of fires. Ah, so you all are having that also, the smokiness. We're supposed to get it tomorrow, Happy Mac. So smoky here in the upstate. Quebec is on fire. Yes, you can smell, it smells like a ham. We're supposed to get that smoke all the way down into the Carolinas tomorrow. That's really interesting. We're supposed to be able to see it, and of course, we'll be able to smell it. But they're saying for us, Happy Mac, that it's just one day. How long have you all been experiencing that? I pray for those folks that are in that area, you know, because if we are all smelling it and it's poor air quality here, you really have to feel for the folks that are in that actual area, and just be prepared for those things. That takes me to where I didn't even want to go tonight, and that's being prepared to leave in a moment's notice. Hopefully and prayerfully people are prepared like that for those sort of things that just may pop up. Been 4 days and it's getting worse every day. Oh wow. Wow. Yeah, we're only supposed to have it one day in our area. And I think it's supposed to just be tomorrow. And I thought that that this fire was going on some time ago, and it's been going on for a while, it sounds like, and seems to be getting much worse. Yeah. Nikki said that New Orleans had terrible weather the last night. 3 homes caught on fire from lightning. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We've had some thunderstorms and some lightning, but not anything catching on fire in my area. That's always pretty frightening to have lightning like that. Did you know any of the folks, Nikki? Did you know anyone? You need some rain. You haven't had any rain in a month. We've had quite a bit of rain, Happy Mac, and uh, now we don't have any, but we're supposed to be getting some more. As Blessed Family said, we're supposed to get some tonight. Your vehicle stayed packed with the ice chest and bug out bags. Yes. And especially right now, Nikki, with you didn't know any of them with the hurricane season. I can imagine that yours really is packed and ready to go. One of the things I wanted to talk about tonight really was tips to help us reduce our food waste. Tips to help us reduce our food waste. With the prices of everything going up, and we've all been into the grocery store, we've all seen the prices of things going up. And not only that, the shortages that we have, or the shortages that may be to come, we need to make sure that the food that we have, that we don't waste it. And that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight, were some ways that we could, or some tips to help reduce that food waste. Many years ago, I was in a group, and one of the things that we did was a weekly report out of the food that we wasted. And that really keeps you in check when you are writing down what you're actually taking out of your refrigerator and you haven't been able to eat. And that includes things. A lot of people will say, well, I'm going to compost it, but you didn't eat it. You didn't purchase it to compost it, or you'll say, I'm going to give it to my chickens or my pets. Didn't buy it for those reasons either. And so we captured everything that we brought into our homes to eat and that we did not eat, and we reported that back, and it really did help me stay in check. And actually, one of the things that I'd like to do is to continue to do that now. So I'm thinking about a way to incorporate that so that we all can stay on top of our money, our food, not waste our food. It's costing quite a bit right now, and that's one of the things that we don't want to do. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Shirley. Please smash that like button. Thank you, Miss Shirley. I appreciate that. And so that's one of the things that we wanted to talk about tonight, really, is just ways to reduce food waste. You guys have any tips or ideas, the things that you think, number one of the things is think twice before you throw your food away. Think twice before you throw your food away. Absolutely true. It's 20 miles to the store for you. You don't want to go any more than you have to, but you tend to overbuy, wasteful. That is so true, Happy Mac. That's one of the things that we do. And one of the ways is to not overbuy, especially when you're talking about fresh produce and things like that, because in the grocery store, sometimes those things tend to go to waste or spoil pretty quickly. I tend to do the same thing, Happy Mac. I want all these fruits and vegetables, and I'm buying them, and then I'm not able to eat them all. So one of the things I ended up doing this weekend, I had quite a bit of lettuce and spinach. So I just put those into my dehydrator with some other things, and I'll just use them for green powder. I will do that. But then there have been times that I just forget about it. I get so busy that I forget that I have those things in there, and then they're going to waste, because your greens, sometimes they'll get pretty slimy pretty quickly. Hello, Diversity Love. Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Miss Shirley, she says her granddaughter used to talk about your overstock. She just quit saying it. As long as you're eating it, you're using it, and it's not going to waste, I don't think that's a huge issue, as long as it's not going to waste. And your granddaughter, if she's like mine, they're probably getting the advantages of you having that extra food and they're not having to buy it and they're taking some home with them, you know. So that's always a plus right there when you can give it to someone else that may use it or will be able to use it, you know. And one of the other good things to do is to make yourself a grocery list. Make yourself a grocery list. Go in there with your grocery list. You also freeze dry your food. That is really good, Nikki, that you have a freeze dryer. That is really good to be to do that. Uh, so I just dehydrate mine, or sometimes I will put it in the freezer. If I just don't have time to do anything with some of those greens, I'll just pop it in the freezer because then I'll just add it to a smoothie or something like that. And that way I don't have to worry so much about blanching it or anything. I just pop it right into my smoothies and it's good to go. Sometimes I like to make up little smoothie bags with things like that too. And that way I can just pop the whole open up the bag and pop it all into my blender, and that's really good to do as well. And make sure that you organize your kitchen so that you have a first in first out. Your first in first out. Dogs barking. BRB. Dogs barking. Okay, diversity love. Yeah. So yes, make sure that you are organizing your kitchen so that you have the first in and first out. I have lost some things like that because it's so easy for me when I come home from the grocery store to just put it into the refrigerator without rotating it around. And if I'm not the one that's getting it out, if my husband or my daughter, if they're getting it out, then they're just going to get out the first thing that they see. They're not going to look at the dates of anything. And I've had cheese actually to go bad because of that, because I didn't rotate it, and they're just going to grab the very first one. So rotate your stuff first in, first out. That's another great way. And make sure that you are storing your food correctly. I'll tell you one of the things that I've done, and I have put my meat on a counter before and forgot that it was there when I'm coming in the house, and I've forgotten it. And then of course by then it's no good. I have to throw it away. Can't make anybody sick. And that is a sickening feeling for me when I'm just purchasing some things and then I end up having to throw it away. What are some other ways that we can help to reduce our food waste? You know, make a weekly menu plan. Does anyone in here menu plan? I used to be really big on menu planning. You've been thinking about what you can do with cabbage this fall so that they don't go to waste. Do you make kimchi or sauerkraut? Do you do any fermenting, Happy Mac? That's one of the things that I like to do, and it does help with to keep the cabbage. It depends on how you want to eat it, but that is a good way to do it. Some people, if you're putting it in soups, they like to dehydrate it or freeze dry it to put it into their soups. And then I also have friends that like to make cabbage rolls. So they'll make a lot of cabbage rolls and then they'll freeze those cabbage rolls. I've never made those, but I do have friends that do that every year. And so that's a really good way to help with your cabbage as well. Hello, Gail Hopper. How are you? Good to see you. Meal planning depends on the sales. So you do meal plan, just depends on what you find in the sales. I understand that. And it's good that you're still able to find some really good sales right now too to make your meal plans. Now, because I do keep my kitchen pretty stocked, I usually try to sit down and do my meal plan on Saturdays so that I know what I'm going to have the rest of the week and I can pull it out of my freezers. I do like to shop my own freezer right now, and I'm really trying to reduce it so that I can have a lot of space in it for all these summer produce and farms that I'll be going to. Absolutely. So Happy Mac, you do like sauerkraut. You've never made the kimchi, but you like it. I have a really simple recipe in one of my books for that. Very simple. And I really like the kimchi that way. Hello, Yankee Sister Homestead. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hello, Mona at Sifting Some Soil and More. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for answering that question, Mona, on the aphids. I've never seen any of the black aphids like that. I always had thought they were all white. And so it was they were just all over the place, you know. Hello, the New Orleans Gardener. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to everyone that's in here. We are talking tonight about ways to keep from wasting our food. We need to try to hold on to as much food as we can right now, you know, and not waste it. So that's one of the things that we are talking about tonight for sure. And just going through different things. And I know we were talking with Happy Mac about ways for her to be able to preserve some of her cabbage. And I don't know if you have a dehydrator or not, or if you like your cabbage in the soups, but that is a good way as well, you know. But you can't ferment, but so much of it, you know. I still have some in my refrigerator, but it is good to be able to eat some fermented food every day, just a little bit. And so that's one of the things that I'm trying to do is to eat just a little bit of fermented food every day. Whether it's that, I just made some more of my own apple cider vinegar, and so I'm excited about that. You do have a solar dehydrator, you'll give it a try. Yes, that would be good. I don't know if you want it out there right now with the smoke. I don't know if that smell would be in it, or if you would taste that or not. If it's been around for 4 days, it may still be in the air. So you may want to wait a little bit for that. You've been waiting for plenty of cabbages to head, Yankee sister. Yes, you have a lot of really nice greenery in your garden. Everything is looking good. So you're waiting on it to head. That's one of the things that I have not grown is cabbages. Now I've been thinking about it, but before I do that, I'm looking at getting those big covers that I see people with. Because I definitely know with all the bugs and things that I have, that would be a problem. So I want to set myself up for some success before I do that, you know. But a lot of people are doing great with it, you know. I like to get my cabbages from one of the farmers at the farmers market. They are a small, actually a family, and they just grow a lot of cabbages. They grow a lot of ginger, a lot of Thai type of vegetables. And so I do like that. Insect covers are the best. And that's what I want to make sure that I get, Yankee sister, before I decide to go ahead and grow some cabbages, because with all of the animals that I have right now, all of the bugs and everything like that, yeah, I definitely be wasting some food, you know, and wasting some seeds, and the animals will certainly get it. I'm trying to be able to harvest some of my squash before the vine borers appear, you know, but I got to do like Linda, the New Orleans gardener, say, and just continue to drop some seeds. So when I get ready to move those plants, I'll be able to get some more. I did go to my local nursery. I need to look at that, put that video out. And you know, the local nursery is so much cheaper than these big box stores. But my local nursery, they're family owned, and they only grow theirs for a certain period of time. And when they're out, they're out. So usually in June, they usually will start running out of their starts. And their starts are pretty reasonable, like 4 packs for $2.99. So it's very reasonable, you know. But as I said, they run out pretty quickly, and they don't grow any or have any more starts after that. The owner, he has aged quite a bit, because I've been going there for 20 plus years, and now the older children are kind of running it. He's still there though. You just started a series about cooking and meal from what you harvest from your garden. Oh, that's a very nice series, the New Orleans Gardener, to have. And that way, that keeps you from wasting food too. You know, we're talking about meal planning is a way to keep from wasting food. And this is the one of the things that I talked about was keeping a log of spoiled foods. I think I talked to you at one time about that, the New Orleans Gardener. I think I'm going to start back doing that, and I may try to bring that to my channel. so that we are all able to keep a log of spoiled foods. It holds me accountable, and I really think about it when I have to write it down and I've wasted something. And I mean, I'm not composting it. I may compost it, but I'm still not eating it. And so I'm writing down everything that I brought in. Happy Mac, you confess that you don't grow your own cabbage. That's okay. The roll of the neighbor's farm wagon, that's still really good to do. That's what I do also, Happy Mac. I'm getting them from the farmers market for sure. Hello, Dragon Queen number one. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hey, Mike's Chaotic Gardening. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. It is good to see everyone that's outside harvesting in their gardens, and they're taking it inside and eating it, making these wonderful meals. I'm watching that. I am, and I'm excited to be able to do that. I'm getting a few things out of my garden. Uh, right now, it's mainly herbs. Mainly herbs. I am still getting some greens, some Swiss chard. I did harvest my very first radishes also. So I have radishes. And so I'm getting a few things out. Don't waste any food. That's right. You don't waste any food. No, not at all. Not at all. Hello, Morris Family Studio. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Mars family, I wanted to talk about the book that you all have. So I'm going to get in touch with you. And because now is a very good time to have your book, it really is, because it's wedding season. And I like to give that book away for new couples. It's a very good thing to give away for new couples. So yes, yes. Hello, Vincent. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, you just got a real tractor tire on a tractor to get repaired tomorrow. And now you're planting more corn in 50-foot rows until dark. Well, good for you. That is great. 50-foot rows until what type of corn are you planting? What type of corn are you out there planting? You didn't think about that. It is a great wedding gift. It really is a great wedding gift. Yes. Yes. What type of corn are you planting? There are a lot of people in here that have all types of corn. Yes. Thank everyone for coming in. Thank you for all of your support. Please hit that like button and share it to live. Thank you, Bouger. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Maria Graham, how are you? Welcome in. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. We are in here talking about ways to not waste food. With the price of food the prices that are going up, things that you are harvesting. So we are talking about the various ways to not waste food. And I can't remember which one said it first, but avoid buying too much. If you're out there buying food, avoid buying too much. Make sure you can utilize the food that you are buying. Yes, yes. And then think twice before you throw away any food. What else can you do with the food? What can you do with it? Make a shopping list if you're going to the grocery store. And if you're going out into your garden, make sure that you know what you want to do with it. When you pick it, cut it, harvest it, make sure you know what you want to do with it, because it's easy if you don't do anything with it for your homegrown foods that you spent all that time and energy on. That can go to waste also. I pulled my first radishes, as I was saying earlier. I ate the radish. I intended to do something with my greens, and before I could do something with them, left them out overnight, and those things would not rehydrate the next day. Wasn't a lot, but it was still a loss, and I still could have put those in the dehydrator with my other things. Happy Mac, you planted shoe peg corn, country gentleman. Oh, and the heirloom tastes really good. That's really good. That's good, Happy Mac. I'll have to write that down. Your husband is a human garbage disposal. So at least you have someone that loves to eat, and hopefully he eats leftovers. Mine won't eat many leftovers, not after a while. You're planting early sun glow, 65-day corn. Now tell me where you're at again, Vincent. Where are you located again? 65-day corn. Put in the super juice so it's not a total loss. Put it in. Yep, you can put it into the super juice so that it's not a total loss. Use the stems to season and cook with, and save the tops for garnish. I will put it into my dehydrate it, and I like to put it into a green powder, make a green powder, and that's what I did with a lot of my things yesterday. My lettuce and spinach and some Swiss chard. I just dehydrated that, and I'll grind all that up and make a powder and just use that powder. It's really good to do. Hello, Urban Harvest. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. Good to see you. And so those are great ways. Make sure again that you organize in your kitchen so that you can have first in and first out. Store your food correctly. Make sure that it's not too hot or it doesn't freeze if it's something that's not supposed to freeze. You love the idea of green powder, Yankee sister. I do that because it's just easy sometimes to have it whenever I have when I don't want to freeze my spinach, and also for different lettuces. So spinach, all types of greens. I like to dehydrate them and make a green powder, and it's really easy to add to smoothies because I like to make a lot of fruit smoothies, and to add those extra nutrients is a big help for me. You know, people who only use leaves from herbs trash the rest. Wow. Wow. Yeah, you're right. Use all those stems and everything. Those stems will also grind up as well really nicely. And I like the rosemary stems. Rosemary stems are good and thick, and you can use those for so many different things. I like to, if I'm putting some oil, I put those down in the oil to give it a flavor. So a lot of different stems. That's very good. But you're right. I throwing it away. No waste here. Not gonna be throwing anything away. Gail, you've been in the hospital for 7 out of 8 weeks, and so it's good to see everyone. Oh wow. Well, thankful that you are out of the hospital. Praying for your continued healing, Gail. Praying for your continued healing, and good to see you. Very good to see you. Welcome. Yes, very good to see you. Definitely keep you in our prayers. Just let us know how you are continuing to do, because I thought I hadn't seen you in a while. So it's definitely good to see you. Definitely good to see you. Yes, continued prayers. You are in Harrison County in Ohio. Okay, so has it been pretty cool where you are? The 65 degrees there as well? Yes. Hello, the Bible Quiz channel. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're in here for the moment talking about ways to reduce food waste. You're getting better slowly, but at least home. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one thing about being away and in the hospital. I know for my time, it's for every day you spend in there, they say it takes about 7 days to recover. So definitely praying for a speedy recovery for you now that you are back home, for sure. For sure. Yankee Sister said it's about garlic space time. You have to go to your list for the pesto recipe. You know, I like my pesto. I like my pesto. And right now I have a lot of basil planted. I like to plant my basil under my tomato plants. And so I have about 7 tomato plants, and my basil's just coming up like crazy. My purple basil, it seems to always come up first. And so it's coming up. So I'm hoping to have quite a bit of basil again this year to be able to make a lot more pesto. I just like it with, and my husband, we like it on pasta and with chicken. And so it's really good to have and make your own sauces like that. I Yes. So I've been watching a lot of folks have basil, but I love the pesto. So yes, Yankee sister, I definitely have those recipes for pesto. I'll be making some more as well. Absolutely. So yes, glad that Miss Gail is feeling better and back home. Absolutely. Purple pesto. Now I usually end up, Morris family, putting it in with my green, and a lot of times it just turns a darker green. It'll turn a darker green. But if you just have purple, I thought about that. I didn't keep just purple, but those of you that like just the purple, I'm sure that that would be amazing as well. I'm sure that it would be amazing as well. But yes, the purple pesto from all the purple basil. And that's what I have growing right now, mainly of my basil. I think it grows a lot quicker than the green does. It's coming up slowly but surely. You want to plant your spice, Chef, soon. And diversity love, that seems to be some of the easiest things for me to plant and for me to grow are all of the herbs, all of the herbs. And so I'm thinking this year I did have uh, so many onion tops, and just being able to utilize that is a huge help. Hey, Joy, fix it for you. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, I'm having a great evening. I hope that you are. I hope that you're having a great evening. You like the carrot top pesto with pecans. Mike, I actually last year, and I don't think I put that video out. My carrots weren't big, but my carrot tops were great. And I made pesto from that as well. So I have some of that frozen too. I definitely have some of that frozen. What I'm learning is really you can make pesto from your spinach. You can make it from many things. And as far as the nuts, I use whatever nuts I have. I usually have pecans and almonds always in the house. And so usually that's what I like to use with it. And one of the other things when you start to talk about the different types of foods and things that Ginger, hey Ginger, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Tell her we said hello. I hope she's doing well. I hope she's doing well. Have you used the sunflower seeds? I haven't used sunflower seeds in pesto because I usually will have you can use any type of seed that you like though, but I usually we're not allergic to nuts, so I usually always have almonds in the house and pecans, and so that's usually what I end up. But I'm sure that you can use the sunflower seeds as well, and it'll be just fine. Or you can leave it out, Morris family. You don't have to put it in. You can actually leave it out if you'd like to. That's the good thing about making your own homemade recipes. You can make them to suit your own family's needs. And it makes it so unique when you do that. Hello, Nikki, the everyday life of an OCD chick. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Purple, regular, lemon, and orange basil from seed. You planted it tonight. Very good. That is good. The orange basil, I don't have any of that. I actually saw that at my local farmer. I'm sorry, at my local nursery. They had some orange basil growing, and I thought about buying some of that, but I just left it there. So that is really interesting. I'm interested to know how you end up liking that. If you plan on mixing them all together, or how you plan on using yours if you're making the pesto and mixing them all together. That would be very interesting, very interesting. And I imagine it will taste really good, especially with some chicken. I can see that now, Yankee sister. That will be really good. Orange basil. Didn't germinate, Mike? I have some cinnamon basil that I need to plant. I didn't plant it because I wanted to plant it separately and not with my others. So I haven't planted that yet. And then holy basil. Now my holy basil that I plant, I don't I don't use that in pesto. My holy basil, I actually just had quite a bit of that dried. And what I like to do with that holy basil, I like to use that in teas. I don't know about you all, but for me, I used to buy pill, actually a capsule of holy basil, and it helps to calm my nerves, y'all. I don't like to fly, and I don't like to ride with other people. And so when I'm flying or riding with other people, sometimes I need my little nerves calmed. And holy basil is really good to do that for me. Hey, broke farmer, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well, thank you for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate it. Cinnamon basil grew like crazy for you. And does it have a really good cinnamon flavor, Mike? That's what I'm wondering, if all these things really do have those flavors. Yes, yes, I'm interested in that. And so we want to make sure that we are not letting any of our foods go to waste. You don't like to fly or take trips without your dogs. They help you to relax. Diversity love, is that what calms you? I will say the holy basil is good. It really works. It really works. But let's look at keeping a log of our spoiled food, y'all. I'm gonna find a way to work that into the channel, is to being able to keep a log, and for us to do a video log of the food that we have spoiled or that we allowed to spoil, even if we're using it for super juice, if we're using it for compost or to feed our animals. Let's go ahead. I think I want to work in a log for that, because I need to make sure that I'm not wasting anything at all. Hey, Barb Brownlee, how are you? Just wanted just watered your garden. Had 4 days in 90s till yesterday, which went to 84 degrees. It's windy plus rain for several weeks now. AT&T cell towers down today in your area. Wow. Wow. Yes, well, I'm glad that you're getting some relief from the heat and that you're getting some rain. These towers and power outages and things like that is really happening in some of the areas around here too. I've been fortunate that I haven't had any, but not too far. You know, you can go 20 miles and they'll have a power outage for a while. When it was small, it smelled like bug red gum. But once it was larger, it just smelled like basil. Yep. Yeah. You're welcome, Morris Family Studio. You're welcome. Holy basil for the nerves in your pharmacy section of your lineage, and absolutely of your lineage and legacy book. Absolutely. It really is. And I started taking it because I was ordering it. And then I realized I could grow my own. And so now I grow my own. But I was actually buying it online. Yes, diversity love. Keep a food waste log. Write everything down that you waste or spoil, everything that's spoiled, even if you are composting it. You can put beside it what you're doing with it, but you didn't purchase it to compost it. You purchased it or harvested it to eat, and you weren't able to. So we'll start keeping those logs, and that way it'll let us know what we're doing. And every year it would help you if you harvesting and you start wasting the same thing or the same food start to spoil, then you can definitely keep that log for sure. For sure. You just purchased some live straws. Oh, congratulations, Yankee sister. You purchased some live straws. Good, good. And sometimes you can purchase your life straws in packages of 4. They have 4 packages of life straws. And sometimes you can get a better deal when you purchase them like that. But it's definitely good to have that with everything that we're seeing going on. That big red gum. I got you. I got you, Mike. Smelled like that big red gum. Do you all remember the cinnamon toothpicks? Anyone in here old enough to remember having the cinnamon toothpicks? I remember having those. I had an aunt that bought those things all the time, and she always shared those cinnamon toothpicks with me. Yes, you remember that? That's what that big red gum kind of reminded me of when you mentioned that, Mike. Those cinnamon toothpicks. Hello, Jennifer Duncan. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, yes. Been missing the lives because of work, on break now. I understand. I appreciate you taking the time to join us on your break. Absolutely. We were in here talking about ways to reduce food waste, and I'm going to find a way to incorporate uh, a food waste log into the channel. It'll be a video log, and all of us can participate in that, and we can um, make a video of things that we have wasted or food that we haven't eaten. Absolutely. Yes, and the clove gum. You remember the clove gum? Cinnamon toothpicks. Kids at the school were allergic. Wow. To the cinnamon toothpicks, Broke Farmer? Wow. Wow. You like anything cinnamon. Yes, yes. It was a trend in the 80s. Your school banned. They banned those toothpicks. Well, see, these toothpicks were that I'm speaking of. I didn't know they were still around in the 80s. They were around in the 60s and 70s, is what I remember. So they were still around in the 80s. Okay. Okay, about like those bottle top candies. I remember those about that time too. Get some teenage boys to help with the food waste. You won't have much food waste then, would you, Morris Family Studio? You really wouldn't have any. They were around in the 80s, banned at your school too in the late 80s. Okay. Oh. Banned at the schools in the 80s, the clove gum and the bean moms. Yes, I don't remember much about the clove gum. I remember the juicy fruit and making different things from that. Yes. So listen, I'm going to incorporate, I will incorporate free making a log of spoiled food, and it'll be a video log once a week. Talk about that. Eating leftovers. I don't know about you all. We talked about that, but my husband is not big on leftovers, so I don't cook as much as I used to. I used to cook a lot of food, guys, and when you're used to having a big family, you cook a lot of food, and then you have to learn to adjust that food. The underground toothpicks. Yes, I imagine some kids still had those. You hate leftovers too, Broke Farmer. Do you take any to lunch? That's one thing, is to take them to work for lunch. Take those leftovers to work for lunch. You know, if my husband says, well, I really don't want to take any leftovers today, then I know, okay, he didn't like that, or he'll say, well, I want to eat that tonight when I come home, but I don't have an issue with leftovers. And one of the main reasons is because I don't like wasting food. So I will eat the same thing every day until the food is gone, because I do not like to waste it unless I freeze it or something like that. So I try not to cook a lot of food. I try not to cook a lot of food. You don't like to eat anything 2 days in a row. Oh my goodness. No, no. I can eat in 3, 4, 5 days. You're the same way. Yes, blessed family. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it until it's gone, or I'm gonna go ahead and freeze it, because I cannot waste food. I just can't turn leftovers into something else so they don't look like leftovers. That's a great way to do it too, Gail, is to recreate those leftovers. Absolutely. Like leftovers for lazy breakfast. Yes, put it in the freezer. A lot of people like to make different soups and stews and all of that with the leftovers. Yankee sister, you do too. You will eat yours until it's gone. Absolutely. It just can't allow it to waste, but turn it into something else. Make you some soup, make a stew. Just depends on what it is. Meatloaf gets better over time. You're right, Mike. There are some things that are better the next day. Your stews, and you're right, meatloafs and chili, they are better the next day. Sometimes it tastes better. Yes. Yes, because the seasonings, they do sink in. They sure do. And it is best sometimes. Dining on a dime cookbooks are great. Yes, yes, dining on a dime. And I don't have the book up here, I don't think, But the book that I've talked about before, Live Your Life for Half the Price, that book, I'll have to bring it up here the next time I'm talking about it, or bring it over here. Hello, Everett Jordan. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yes, and so that's the one of the things is to things that are too expensive. Exactly, Jennifer Duncan. That's one of the reasons we are talking about really trying to find ways to help reduce that waste, because the things are too expensive. Once you find it, you certainly don't want it to go to waste, you know. You certainly don't want it to go to waste. Eat those leftovers. Try out different food preservation methods. And this is a big one, is to understand the dates on your food. Understand the dates on your food, you know, because sometimes we will throw it out because we think that it's bad, and it may not necessarily be bad. We're looking at best by dates instead of, you know, some things you just give it the sniff or the look. If it's something that's green, you certainly know. Turn those leftovers into soups or casseroles. Casseroles, absolutely, Barb Brownlee. Throw some sauce on there. You can throw some sauce on about anything and have yourself a good casserole. And we did talk about composting those scraps. A lot of people in here are composting, finding different ways to compost their scraps. So that's really good. Avoid the food tray. If you're going out to eat, or if you're going to the grocery store, sometimes, you know, they say not to, definitely don't go when you're hungry. You definitely do not want to go to the grocery store when you are hungry. Leftover stew. Exactly, exactly. Hello, Yolanda the gardener. Good to see you. Good to see you. Blend it up and make it into a dip. That's very good option also, to blend it up and make it into a dip. Listen, guys, I want to give away some basil, and this plant, this flower. This is a good herb flower to have as well. Off the top of my mind, I can't think of what it's good for, but it's a really good herb to have, along with some basil that we are talking about. Some basil. Before we get off, I want to make sure that we do that. Remember, canned soup would say it's good for years. Now they claim it's bad. So the canned soup is, they're trying to say that it's bad, trying to sell more. I believe that, Mike. I believe that. Trying to sell more. Yes. Yes. So, Yolanda, are you going to be joining me, Cannon? Guys, I'm doing a jar it up back in June, July, the summer months, trying to get things growing, jar it up. Yes, yes, Broke Farmer, you can. And actually, that's the reason I started growing it. It's a good herb. It's a medicinal herb. It's a medicinal herb, and that's why I started growing it, for that reason. So it is, if you have it, it is a really good, it is pretty, and it's a really good medicinal herb to have. You just ate chicken noodles today. Yes, yes. So, Broke Farmer, if you all are growing it, go ahead and start harvesting you some and drying it. It really is it's a good herb. I'll need to do a video and talk about it because it is a really good herb to have. And I'll do a video and talk about it. So, Yolanda, you think you're going to be canning using your electric pressure canner? Good, good. Remember, you can reach out to me and we can can together on your other pressure canner. We certainly can do that. Is lady bed straw a good herb? Anybody know about that? Ladies bed straw? Someone in here may know about that. I know a lot of us do. We have quite a bit of herbs. Absolutely. That's right. Before they started putting the dates on the cans, you just had it forever. Yes, it's more information. Okay, I will. I'll give more information on it. Ladies bed straw. I haven't heard of that either. I haven't heard of that. But you're gonna make me look that up. I'm gonna look that up, Diversity Love. I'm gonna look that up. Nikki, are you saying it's not good or you haven't heard of it either? I'm gonna look that up and I'll let you know about that because I that's something that I haven't heard of. But I do know that this is a good herb to have because you're growing it now. I know that it's a good herb to have. Yes, you haven't grown it for you. You've grown it for years. I started growing it last year. I started looking up herbs that are medicinal, and this was one of the ones, and I ran into it in the store, so I got it, and I'm growing it, and it's coming back, so I'll let you all know what it's good for, because I also have some other herbs that I'm growing that are good for things that I haven't saw anyone on here growing. So I'd have seen people growing this one. I know Nikki grows this one and some other folks. Yes, it is. It is. Your wife is gonna have a word. Oh, you haven't heard of that one either. Ladies bed straw. I wrote it down, diversity love. I'm gonna have to look into that one because I really haven't heard that. Thank you, Everett. Good to see you. Are you driving right now? Are you driving? Back to work for you. Okay. I appreciate you checking in with us. I appreciate you joining me. Be safe out there on the highway. Y'all, that's my cousin. He's over the road truck driver. So good to see you. Glad that you jumped in and joined us. Okay. You out of work. Okay. I'll be in touch with you. I'll be back in touch with you. Good to see you. Be safe on that highway. They claim it cures hyperhidroid. The lady bed straw. Ah. Okay, Gail. So you're familiar with it too? I'm gonna have to look into that. Definitely. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, diversity love, because I'm definitely gonna look into that one. I like finding different herbs and flowers and things that are medicinal, for medicinal purposes, because we need them. You all have been seeing the shortages in medications out here, It's my people. Ah, okay. Yes, Morris family. Don't know if it worked. He's our people. He's our people. That's right. You don't know if it well, we'll have to look into that. It does mine receded. Did yours not recede, Nikki? It did recede for me. I didn't plant any this year. Mine came back up from last year, which I'm very surprised because it was so cold. Not many things came up, but I'm still talking. I'm gonna make sure I give away the basil and the asalum, if that is how that's pronounced, because I think those are some good things to have. So I'm gonna those are some really good things to have. So I am writing a number down. Pete. Yes, that's cousin Pete. Your family is big. You have to do cousin check before going out. Yes, the kinfolk. Yep. So listen, let's go between some numbers between, excuse me, 1 and 100. So a number between 1 and 100, some basil. And for this is your first year growing it, Nikki, you'll like it. You will like it for sure. Again, I like the medicinal purpose values of it, and that's why I started growing it last year. And I looked up so many different herbs and flowers and things like that and I'm sure I can go and find, I need to go and find out why I grew it, but I did dry some of it because I'm growing it in a very small amount. It's a small container. That's what I'm growing it in. So I want to, and I'm watching and I don't see the number yet. I'm growing it in a small container. And so I wanted to grow some other things too. I'm growing some calendula. I know several of you are growing that. But I'm hoping that those will flower and I'll be able to have that as well. And so I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think what I'm going to do is I do see my number in here. I see my number in here. So I'm going to ask you to stop because I see the number, but I'm going to go back and see who has it. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but I just want to double check again. And it is Miss Shirley, the OG gardener. Yes. Miss Shirley. Yes, ma'am. I have your address. I still have your address. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the mail to you, Miss Shirley. Congratulations. 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 I like both of those things. I've talked about them. And so I'm hoping that I have planted quite a bit of basil, and so I hope that you like that and like that flower as well. I'll talk about the medicinal purposes at a later time, but before I get off, I have another set that I'm going to give away. So let's get ready to go, and yeah, let's go. You want the OC dish chick? Well, I have a whole nother set. I have another set, and we're going to do the same thing. 1 to 100. Let's go. 1 to 100. I've already written that number down. Give them to Nikki, the OCD chick. I got you. So if you don't have this, this really is a good one to have. That's a good one to have. Now, Mike, I wonder if you have it. You have a lot of seeds. I did see Nikki growing it. Yes. So those are good to have. I don't see it yet. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Nikki, if you don't mind, if you can send me your address, I probably have it, but just to be on the safe side, if you don't mind, if you can send it to me, wholenewperspective@gmail.com. I know you have my email address. So if you can just email me yours, it would be great. And I'm just going to verify before. Yankee Sister is the first person. It was 33. Yes. So Yankee Sister, please send me your address and I'll get this in the mail to you. Absolutely. And when we all can be growing this, and I'll talk a little bit about that, the flower, so that you all will know why I picked it up and started growing it. I have very small space, so I'm trying to be very strategic about what I'm growing, especially when I'm growing things that are medicinal. I want to make sure that I am using my space wisely. So I'll talk a little bit about that herb, and I'll talk about some other herbs. So congratulations, Yankee Sister, and Nikki, by way of Miss Shirley. Absolutely. Thank you very much, y'all, for participating in that. We talked about several different ways and tips to not waste food, y'all. Y'all know I like to. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. You know, I like to talk about canning and things like that. So those that are canning, think about jarring it up using the hashtag jar it up 2023 and tagging me so we can all start jarring our foods up right now. Now it's time that a lot of people are starting to can. You can get your produce from your stores, from your farms, all of that. Make sure that you are meal prepping. That's another big way, is to make sure that you are meal prepping. Queen BG, how are you? How are you? Yes, welcome in. Welcome in. Make sure that you have food and you're cooking food that you like. If you're going to sample out some recipes and you're not sure if you like it or not, make a very small batch. Don't do like I do and overcook. Make a very small batch, you know. Learn more about the food and about dates. Learn more about dates and serving sizes. You know, I tend to eat the bigger serving size, especially when I'm trying to get rid of something or if it's something that I really, really like. So think too about your serving sizes, you know, uh, and don't go to the grocery store hungry. Don't go to the grocery store hungry, you know, because then you come back. If you're like me, you end up through those aisles getting things that you don't necessarily need. Like those potato chips, you know, like me, I need to make my own potato chips. So I'm going to be on the lookout for me to talk about this. I'm going to talk about it and also be on the lookout to talk about uh, food waste logs. Yeah, a video. Be on the lookout. Yes, Yankee Sister is whole new perspective at gmail.com. I'm gonna go ahead and get that out. And yes, thank you guys so much for hitting that like button. I appreciate it too. Everything is better homemade. Absolutely. Absolutely. So guys, we've been on here for an hour. You started making your own TV dinners. Maria Graham, that is very good. Did you buy those little sectional containers to put them in and freeze them? That's very good to do. Hey, Martika, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It is time for us to get ready to get out of here. You did good. Those come in really, really handy. They really do. And those are really good and quick meals, very good and quick meals for you to be able to have right now. A lot of people don't use their crock pots and things during the summer. I tend to use mine more because I tend to use mine a lot more during the summer because then I can just put my food on. I can have it ready while I'm doing other things out. Peace, broke farmer. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, yes, guys, we're getting ready to get out of here tonight. We've been on here for an hour. I appreciate everyone coming in. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it. You started canning in pints. Yes, Gay, I started canning a lot of things in pints as well. So make sure that you have all your pint jars that you need before they run out. You use your crock pot all year long too, Yolanda. That is good. Good. Thank you so much. Much love to you. Thank you to everyone. I appreciate you coming in. Much love to everyone. You're alone now, Gail. So it's easier for the pints. It is, and you can eat it all from the pints. Excellent. Thank you guys for all of your tips and all of your participation as well. I really had a great night with you. I appreciate you joining me. We'll be back here next week and think about all the things that we talked about. Think about that food waste log or video that you may be able to put out. We're going to do that. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bougie Prepper. I appreciate it. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in. Have a wonderful night. Love you guys. Take care. We'll see you next week, okay?